Hello, it's Robin Fuquay, and welcome Friday. It's Friday. So I'm starting off with just some basic, I already did my skincare, and I just had some questions I thought I would ask you. Like, what is some of your maybe biggest hang-ups about skincare, especially like washing your face, or maybe it's like 10:30 at night and you're like, oh man, I hate to get up and wash my face now. So I had one of my friends, I kept asking her, we would meet at this little supper club place a while back, and her alarm would go off like at 9 o'clock. I'm like, what is her alarm going off for? And she said, it's my alarm to remember to do my skincare before I get tired. I thought that was kind of cute, but I was like, it was really smart. So anyway, so I just used some face primer, and this is like pothole filler. So it fills in imperfections. It makes your makeup stick really well. And next thing I'm using is this finishing spray. And you just shake it up and you just do like an X and then come down. And I like to use it under my foundation as well as on top. So it makes your foundation stick really good. And it keeps you from like sweating through it and perspiring and getting shiny. So if you've got a shiny thing, that would be the thing. It also kind of helps your skin look hydrated when you finish it during the winter time. So I love the versatility of it. So foundation. I think I might have a little bit left in this tube here. I'll finish this. So anyway, it's almost one of the guys at the gym, he's like 90, and he was asking me, he's like, when is Easter? And I was like, let me ask this magic box. I pulled out my phone, and so Easter's only a few weeks away. And I recommend using foundation on your eyelids because people have little veins. It kind of helps, with darkness here. It brings everything kind of monochromatic. And this foundation is the matte coverage foundation. The liquid foundations are luminous if you like a dewier finish, or matte if you like a matte finish. And these are buildable coverages, which I love that. So that, anyway, what I'm using is Mary Kay products. Mary Kay skincare and color cosmetic products. And so when you apply it, as you apply it, like this side's already dry, it has buildable coverage. So if you've got like some things that you're, trying to cover up, specifically maybe some redness, or maybe even you have some rosacea that you're kind of trying to cover up some of that, or you've got acne scarring, or the list goes on and on, right? So imperfections, dark pigmentations, things like that. So, but if you're not using a good skincare, it does make a difference in how your foundation goes on. It's like the cake. So your skincare is like the cake, and foundation is considered part of your skincare. And it has anti-aging products in it. And our CC cream specifically has, which is this, it's got a little pump. It's like a tinted moisturizer. It's got blue light protectors in it from the computer. Blue light. It's got SPF of 15. It's a great dash out the door product. I've also used it in a really dark color and mixed it with my toning lotion to tan my legs instead of hosiery. Covers up imperfections that way. Maybe I'll do another video with that. But so I use the Repair skincare, which is my favorite skincare, and also the Clinical Solutions, which is a retinol product. And I used to have a lot of dark patching through here. As a matter of fact, my husband and I were on the way home from beach the beach one time, and he asked me if I had a birthmark here, and I was like, no, it's not a birthmark. You know, when you're over 40, there's just weird things that happens to your skin. So anyway, so I like using this brush, this liquid foundation brush, and I would specifically kind of like the stippling. It just gives you it almost gives you like an airbrushed look. All right. So the next thing I'm using is some powder to set the foundation with. So I'm using translucent powder. And if you know, one of the things I have been asked recently was one of my Canadian girlfriends asked me, she's like, what about travel? And, you know, what do you like to travel with? And one of the things I don't like traveling with is a bunch of, I don't know, a bunch of tubes of things. And here's actually my color palette. And sometimes I've had like a pressed powder in here, which I like. This one's kind of, you know, larger. This is so flat. And so I do like instead of liquid eyeshadows and stuff like that, I love how flat everything is, and it travels really nice. All right, so I just use a little bit of translucent powder to, but I tell you where I did not use the translucent powder on my eyelids or around here, just because I don't really want to. I wanted to keep this a little dewier, and then I'm putting my eyeshadow powder on, so I really didn't want to powder it, and then because I wanted it to stick really good. But blush and contour blends really nice on powder because it is a powder. So I have my contour here on this blush brush. Put my mirror back up here. And I'm just bringing it right through here. And I like to layer this. I like to do like a thinner layer. And then if I want a more dramatic look, I can do that. And you can really see how that really adds some definition. When we use foundation, a lot of times that pulls the definition out. Everything's the same color. And this will just kind of add a little bit more of our face shape back in there. I'm just going to bring it up here. And actually this should be like kind of like a 3. If you want to know where the contour goes. And then I just bring this down here. A lot of times we get sun, but not sun like right there. So bringing a little bit of contour powder right there kind of just makes everything the same. And then blush. So blush, I put it on my cheekbone here, but I also put it on top of the contour color. So I'm actually using this Shy Blush here. And I kind of like to use like a stippling action, and don't blow it off once you get it on your brush. Like just leave it in your brush and sort of stipple it on your cheekbone. And wherever you put your brush down is where you're going to get your heaviest application. So I do recommend people like starting from here and sweeping this way, or you can just stipple it. So the translucent powder that I just used on my face, that helps this other powder not just like saturate into my foundation. It gives it a place to be blended on, and I feel like I need more color. I'm so glad it's sunshiny. Okay. So the next thing I'm doing is eyeshadow. I'm using some eyeshadow primer. So primer, and it makes your eyeshadow, it's like eyeshadow glue, and I'm just putting it on my ring finger here and just a little dot here and there. It lasts forever. I think a tube of this stuff lasts me like a year. It lasts a long time, and you only need like a dab, but it makes your eyelid a little bit tacky, but it also keeps it grabs the powder and holds it, and it keeps it from creasing, and it keeps it from fading. And Mary Kay eyeshadows are just absolutely amazing, because if you've not used eyeshadow, a quality eyeshadow, one of the things I do like about it is that it sticks to the brush, and then I'm depositing it, and it is not flying everywhere on my face. So I really do love that. So I'm actually using this Biscotti up here. I'm going to use it right up here. If you're more tanned, Sandcastle is a great color. If you're a bronze color, Hazelnut is a nice color for that. And I'm just bringing it right here too, because I'm a little dark right there. I don't have dark circles underneath my eyes so much as I'm a little dark right through there. So, and I'm bringing it almost to the crease. So when I put the next color in the crease, it'll blend really nicely up here. All right, so the next brush I'm using is this. Oh, I just used this like just a eyeshadow color basic brush, but this one's an angle brush for the crease, and I'm going to use this espresso color. It's kind of a coffee color right here, and I'm going to start right here, kind of map it out here. And we'll come back with a clean brush and blend it. Blending it. These are the toolkits. The tools in the toolkit are your makeup brushes. And if you don't really have or never use a good set of makeup brushes, like, they will last for years. And I just clean mine with our cleanser. I like to use a cleansing bar. Just dissolves all the makeup, and it's suggested that you wash your brushes, you know, at different times. You know, sometimes I've seen once a week, sometimes once a month, but I really think that you should clean them every day, even if it's just with some brush cleaner, just to clean them and then wipe them, and then definitely like really wash them with like a soapier type thing, you know, once a week. And when you store them, don't put them in a coffee cup and like store them like this. You want to lay them flat, because the water will run down in here and that'll loosen up the glue. You don't want to do that. So make sure when you store them or when you dry them, just lay them flat, and they'll usually dry overnight. All right, so the next thing I'm using is a clean brush, and I'm just going to use it's a little fluffy brush, a little fluffy eye brush. And I don't have my glasses on, and I think maybe I rubbed off the title of it, but it is I can't remember, but it looks like this. There's not a ton of brushes, but I use a couple sets of brushes, and I have lots of eye brushes. All right, so I just really blend that in, so you can really tell where one color starts. You can't really tell where one color starts and the next one starts. All right. And now, after this, I'm going to cut in my eyeshadow a little bit more precise on the lid. My eyes are a little hooded. If your eyes are a little hooded, go up just a little higher than what your actual crease is, so that you can see it when your eyes are relaxed. All right. Okay, so the next thing I'm doing is I'm using this concealer and a flat concealer brush. I like these flat concealer brushes for several things, but I'm just gonna, so I wanted my lid like really like bright, so I'm just adding a little concealer there to brighten it up. So I'm just gonna add it right through here. Not a ton of it, just enough to brighten that area. And it's not like wet. Here we go. And I'm going to use this rose gold color right here on the lid. And I'm going to do it about 3/4 of the way because I have a bronze color I want to put on the outside there. But I do like that you can really get some real exact shape here, and it really brightens the lid. It's not something I do every day, but sometimes you just want a different effect. And then the rose gold, I'm just kind of tapping it in, pressing it onto my eyelid. All right, so then next I have this little blending brush. I love the power of it, and it's so short, but I'm using this rustic color, which is here. It's kind of a rusty brown color. And it's got a little shimmer in it, but I'm bringing it in from the corner. Oops. Let me get back on the camera here. I'm bringing it in from the corner here. And just kind of pressing that in there. I need more. More is less unless you're 14. All right. And the same thing with the other side. And wherever you put your brush down is where you're going to get your heaviest application. Also, these eyeshadows can be used wet or dry. All right. So I'm using the same brush I did the concealer with. I want to bring some of that rose gold under here. Right. I'm actually going to bring it right here, and I'm going to bring it underneath here a little bit to kind of brighten that area. It really kind of gives some fresh sparkle. And then I'm using that rustic. I'm bringing it under the lashes from the outside under here. If you really want blue eyes to really show up, using golds and like browns or bronzy colors really makes the blue eyes pop. Right. And then next I'm using some mechanical black eyeliner on the waterline. I'm doing kind of a dramatic look with the eyeshadow and the liner down there. It's like double liner. And then next I'm putting this gel pot of eyeliner on the top lid. And so if you wear eyeliner on the bottom, you must wear it on the top. Otherwise, I just did this on purpose so you could see that it really kind of drags your eye down here. But when you do it on the top, it frames out your eye. I like this gel liner. It's so forgiving if you have fine lines in your eyes, and it colors very nicely on top of the eyeshadow. Sometimes if you're trying to use a mechanical pencil or some kind of eyeliner pencil, like you're having to really work it to get it to right on top of the eyeshadow. And but this gel liner, it just glides right on top. All right, you can see I framed out that eye. All right, and I got that eye framed out. So a little bit about me. I grew up on a farm, and my parents actually still live on the 10-acre farm that I grew up. They're not farming it like they did when I was young, like my brother and I were when we were young. But, you know, some of those things I learned as a young person on the farm have carried me all through my entire life. Like it's just the stories, just everything. And one of the things I can remember, my brother and I were walking, we were walking behind, it was our job to, Daddy had this attachment that went to the back of the tractor, and we were planting corn, and it had like a thing, if you've ever put a quarter in the thing and you twisted it for the candy, like a candy machine, put the quarter and you twisted it. Well, the corn kind of looked like it was in something like that. It was like a little dial that caught the corn and the corn kernel, and it would chink, chink, chink. Anyway, as the thing went around. And so my brother was, and it was like a funnel, and it had that there. And my brother was behind one, and I was behind the other one. So we were both walking behind the tractor. And Daddy said, make sure that corn is going into the ground. So I remember thinking that was one of our jobs as a on the farm, is to make sure the corn was in that. Part of me felt, you know, as I was younger, that it was kind of a, I don't know, a silly job to be walking behind that, but we just did whatever he told us to do. And but I thought you'd hate to have planted all that and then the corn didn't go in it. And then when we harvested that was just for a little bit of corn, but I can remember Daddy grew the back 5 acres of corn a few times, and he would hire people to come in for the harvest. And I mean, it was a job, but we would be like in an assembly line. And I'm just using this dark blonde brow pencil to do brow definer. It writes really good on top of scarred skin. It writes really good on top of makeup. So if you want to draw your brows and you're like, my eyebrow pencil won't draw on this, this is a great pencil for that. Mary Kay Eye Definer Pencil. Brow Definer. Precision Brow Definer. So anyway, so he would fill up the back of the truck with corn, and then I'm just using a blonde brow tint just to color the brow hairs and glue them all together. But he would hire somebody to, and so he would be cutting off when they had filled up the back of the truck. He would drive the truck underneath the shed, and he would cut off the ends of the corn and throw them into a bucket. And then my brother and I had the privileged job of silking all the corn. That means we pulled off the shuck and the silks and got all the silks we could off. And then we had another number 10 wash tub. It was a big stainless wash tub full of water. And we would put that in the corn in the water. And then my mama was creaming it. And so she would take the corn and kind of hold it up and let the water drip off of it a little bit. And then she would take her knife, and then she would take the corn and just kind of skim off the top. And then when she skimmed it off the top all the way around the corn, then she would take her knife this way and drag it through there, and that would be the cream for the corn. So she would have a big bowl of that, and when she filled it up, then we would take it inside, and she would blanch it to get all the bacteria, and it would kind of brown a little bit at the top, and it was just part of it. And then we would put it in freezer bags or those plastic containers that stacked on each other. So I'm using a rose lip liner here. So those were some of the things that we did growing up on the farm. And it was just kind of a thing. It was hot, sweaty work, and it was fun. Sometimes it was fun. A lot of times it was just sweaty work. But it was how we made it. It was how, I don't know that we really didn't go out to eat very much. And I guess we lived at the time, the country, I mean, the towns kind of come out to their direction, but it was about, 40 or 45 minutes to drive into town. Now you can get there in about 25 minutes. Since they increased the speed limit. And all right, so I used a rose lip liner, and then next I'm using Powerful Pink lipstick. It's a matte lipstick. I'm using a matte lipstick, but I'm going to use a gloss on top. All right, so what the color of lip gloss I'm using on top is this Copper Aura. It looks pretty on everything. It's like a frosty, shimmery bronze color. It looks pretty by itself, and it looks pretty on top of lipstick. Oh, I missed. And I just kind of dab it on here. I don't really want to like swipe it all around. I don't want to pick up my lipstick and put it in here, but you just dab it on there. The colors kind of blend, and it gives kind of a shimmery color look. So here's my look for today. It's just maybe a hot pink, almost Easter look. So anyway, hope you have an amazing day.